Alright, y'all, we are live on this beautiful Tuesday morning. May God bless everybody in the name of Jesus, Yeshua the Messiah. Even if you are not religious, I still pray you and your family are super blessed. As Bitcoin is bouncing, oh my goodness, have you ever seen such a more bullish move in your life? Have you ever seen a more bullish, massive move in your life? Make sure to smash up the likes, guys. Make sure to subscribe to the channel because, look, as usual, guys, there's two really cool things today. First of all, we're going to be doing some giveaways, man. We are going to be giving away $500 today, courtesy of BLOFIN. BLOFIN at BLOFIN.com right now is giving away $500. All you have to do in order to qualify for the giveaway is sign up to BLOFIN using my link in the pinned comment and description. You don't have to deposit a dang thing. And they're giving away $100 to 5 viewers. Alright, it's going to be a good time today. We got to give a major shout out to the chat right now. First of all, we got 6 Juanita in the chat. And we got to give a major shout out to Ashley Gates, who says, "Get the plunger," Juanita said. Thank you for the super chat, Ashley Gates. Shout out to Verified Leverage. Bitcoin Dom, we'll take a look. Shout out to MJ, who says GM. Shout out to Guy Incognito. Shout out to Milan. Shout out to Trench Lord TV. Shout out to Two Big Paws. Only dropping because Bitcoin dominance is resting. Shout out to Lasers Go Pew Pew. BTFD. And shout out to Tina D. And Rocky. What is going on, y'all? Major shout out to Yar Brook 1. I may not be a perfect husband, but at least I don't go to Coldplay concerts. Shout out to Eddie, 98% will get wrecked. What's up, Eddie? Shout out to Dome Life. Shout out to Rakash B. Jason moved on to 12 Juanita. Heck no. The 6 Juanita will always be in my Fibonacci golden pocket, always. Alright? You can't mess with the fib level. Shout out to Dave Flowers. Major shout out to Manny Sharon. What is going on? Shout out to Last Tin Can. Shout out to Matt Yee. What is up? And Jeremy Cup. I'm doing pretty good, man. How are you? Shout out to Nick Flip. Alright, guys. If we get 1,000 likes in the first half hour, we'll give away $1,000. Also, BLOFIN's going to be giving away $500 today, so make sure to smash the like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to share on Twitter and X and all that stuff. All that good stuff, guys. Man, Bitcoin is getting a bit of a bounce, having taken the liquidity from Sunday night. From Asia Open on the first day of the week. We took that liquidity with a nice wick, and we're starting to get a little bit of a reversal. Ethereum taking a little bit of a tumble yesterday, but recovering. We're going to be looking at this, guys. We are going to be looking at this. Things are getting juicy. Alright, shout out to Keep On Grinding. I sold early in the morning and I lost. Sorry to hear that, man. Shout out to Christopher. He says, one more move up to 130K, then correct to 108. I'm feeling that move to 130. I'm feeling that move to 130 right now. That's actually my next target here. This is a little bit too low. I'm looking to front run 130 just a little bit here. And we're gonna be deep diving into this Bitcoin chart, man. Alright. Right into the Bitcoin chart. Shout out to Zondo. He says, congratulations for 200,000 followers. Thank you so much. It's a big day for Bitcoin. Now look, today we actually do have some very interesting news is happening. In about 45 minutes, Jerome Powell is going to speak. Alright, it's very interesting to see how he comes out the gate. Is he going to be hawkish? Or is he going to be dovish? And I think we're probably going to be live while he's speaking. I don't know if we'll be able to watch it or not. But I do expect some volatility in the charts today, tomorrow, which is a Wednesday. You know, Wednesdays are always super juicy. Let's take a quick look at the markets here. We're going to head on over to TradingView. Guys, as you can see, ETH still holding above that trend line. ETH still holding above the trend line, and interestingly enough, coming down a little bit for basically a back test of this trend line at around 3,600. Very interesting back test, if you ask me. Looks pretty nice to see ETH come down, basically back test this trend line and getting a little bounce back to the upside. Now we're going to start with Bitcoin here. As we know, Bitcoin has broken out of the range. We formed a really nice bottom here. A really nice bottom here at about $100,000. And that $100,000 just so happened to be the Fibonacci golden pocket retracement from the low to the high. And from this point, we have gotten a bounce. We have made a higher high. And as we're consolidating in this range, I just want to point out a few things that are tickling my fancy here. Okay? Quite interesting consolidation. First of all, this is happening after a very solid breakout, right? Throughout the entirety of the bull market, every time we break out of a range, this is the weekly time frame, we get a big blue candle. It closes well above the resistance, and there's really no question as to whether or not the breakout has happened, right? We have a very strong breakout candle here, and then the second week is a purple doji. Now, we go back in time, and we see that when we get these breakouts, typically it's up only. It's up only. And if we get a purple candle, it is like a doji, not much movement, and then more upside, right? Look at what happened back here when we broke out when Trump, actually this is February 2024. This is before Trump. But look at what happens when we get that breakout. We get a little bit of a purple doji, and then boom, a big old blue candle on the weekly. So the pattern here really is, once we get that breakout, it's pretty much a blue sky breakout. We get a strong confirmation close. Maybe we have a week of like indecision, and then we continue to the upside. It even happened over here, right? We get the big breakout. We have a purple doji, indecision, and then the next 3 weeks are the blue candles. And then that first breakout, you know, just straight up pumped for 3 weeks. And so, you know, we would expect this pattern to continue here. I would expect this pattern to continue here. And when we look at the daily time frame, we are really about to print that green dot. Now remember, the Bitcoin price action, people want to make it about buying and selling. People want to make it about, you know, volume. But really it's just about an epic tale between two Mexican gangsters. El punto rojo y el punto verde. El punto rojo es the red dot on market Cipher B. All right. Now this guy, El punto rojo, he is loyal to the country that lives on this side of the border. So he always wants to smuggle those Bitcoin candles down this way, right? But El punto verde, he's loyal to the country above the border. Canada, that's right. El punto verde es un Canadian. He's loyal to the Canadians. Now, El Punto Verde, he wants to keep the price up here. He wants to push it to $130,000. So what happened was we got the big breakout. El Punto Rojo was like, oh, no, mi amigo. No. He tried to take that Bitcoin price here and push it back down. All right. So far, he's been unsuccessful. And although we can't see him yet, we can tell based on this yellow oscillator that El Punto Verde is on the way. Okay, and once this guy comes, I think we're going to see another big push. And the reason why I say that is because when we start on the higher term time frames, such as the weekly time frame, right, there's still more upside potential here based on our momentum waves. There's still much more upside. We're not even close to printing a top here on the weekly. Look at how separated the momentum waves are here. All right, they're pretty separated. It's kind of like how it was back in this area here, right? Where we still had 1, 2, 3, 4 more weeks of going up before we finally start to top out. So there's room for upside on this oscillator. And then when we get to our lower time frames, like the 4-hour, look at this, all right? Look at this. So as we consolidate in this range here, as we come down to the key zones of support, we had a key zone of support right here at 115K. We had this also, it remained key support right down here. We're seeing the 4-hour time frame start to give us in my opinion, a really nice bottom signal. We saw a bullish divergence here. Now we're seeing a bit of, you know, I would even consider this also continued bullish divergence, because the green dots are getting higher, where the wave actually confirms is getting higher as the price is getting lower, right? A bullish divergence. This is known colloquially as an uneven butt cheek pattern, where you have a left cheek full of, like, you know, I make my kids these rice and quinoa pasta noodles, all right? And when I make it, I take a little bit of garlic and I melt the butter with the garlic. I make this garlic infused butter. And then I take some raw cheese and I put the raw cheese in with that garlic infused butter. And I put that on top of these noodles. My kids love it. This left butt cheek is full of those garlic infused butter noodles. And the right cheek has no noodles. Alright, the right cheek is straight up carnivore diet keto. No carbs. Can you imagine that? No carbs? So it just has none of those noodles, just the butter and the cheese. Alright, now this is now giving us a push to the upside. Alright? When we go down to even the lower time frames, look at this. We are seeing multiple drive of bullish divergence as the price is consolidating at this support. Now, again, this is very difficult price action to read. This is a very difficult market cipher to read, because when you consolidate and coil up like this for a big move, the signals become less, I'm not going to say less accurate, but they become less clear, right? The signals are muddied because the oscillator needs to print highs and lows. It needs to print tops and bottoms no matter what. And it will. It will print a top and a bottom no matter what. But they're always more accurate when there's more room for them to print that signal, right? The more we coil up, the less accurate they become. But I think when we look at the weekly, when we look at the daily, when we look at the 4 hour, when we look at the 1 hour, when we look at the 24 minute, and just notice that, look at the range, and look at the money flow throughout the range, the trend is up, all right? The trend is up. Now, I know you could also say, but Jay, the trend is down. I agree, but here's why I think this looks more bullish than bearish. Because we're printing bullish divergences, right? We're not seeing bearish divergences, we're seeing bullish divergences. So as we're coiling up here, as we're consolidating, we're seeing bullish divergences and not bearish. Now let's take a look here at all the volume that we've traded. And you can see our resistance here is basically value area high, right? Value area high. We've been trading in this small range, all right? Which is, you know, basically, you know, the long trade that we took in the Casper crew was from this value area low. And then when we hit the value area high, you know, that's basically was our TP1, then we got to move back down to the value area low. All right. Now, what's interesting is this area 116, this is key. We've taken 2 trades from here in the Casper Crew VIP Discord. All right, setups given in advance, trades taken, profits locked. All right. We also gave the long setup from 115. I'm sorry, from 105. Gave the setup in advance, gave the long setup from $100,000 as well in the Casper Crew VIP Discord at jasoncasperdtrading.com. Best trading community in the world. But this is now going to be our key support at 116-ish. Now, if we break out of this value area high, coming in at about 119.4, then I think our next target locally is going to be 121. And 121 is going to be a very, very important level. And here's why. When we look at this sideways range, there are 2 very important levels here. Actually, 3. Very important level number 1 is this. This is all the stop losses that have been put here under these progressively higher lows. All right. The next very important level is going to be that $121,000. Why? Because when we got that spike to the upside on Thursday, you can see that we have a series of highs up here where we know that there are also stop losses here. All right, so what's the big deal about having stop losses? Well, that's where, if the market maker is going to try and do a stop hunt, that's where they're going to push the price to then reverse it. So you always want to keep those levels on your chart. Now, in addition to this, we are forming the symmetrical triangle. All right, so this is why these levels are so important here, because if we get a breakdown of the symmetrical triangle, you know a lot of people are going to try and short that. Retail Rick, oh, we're breaking the trend line, let me enter into my short now. And what Retail Rick doesn't know is that the market makers just want to stop out these guys, stop out these guys, stop out these guys, so that it puts liquidity back into the market so they can buy and push the price back up, right? To the contrary, and on the other side of that Bitcoin, Retail Rick also, once we get the breakout of this, Retail Rick's gonna want a long, right? But here's the problem. We also need to be aware of a potential liquidity grab, stop hunt here, before pushing the price back down. So right now, if I was just waiting on the sideline for a trade, I would clear off all the noise and really just be looking at the chart like this, all right? I would really be looking at the chart like this. And I would play it like this. If we did take a drop down, I'm going to be looking for long trades on the drop. The reason why I would be bullish in the event of a drop is because when we zoom out, right? What can we tell about the zoom out? Well, if we get a drop, so long as we're maintaining above our previous high support resistance split about 112, this is bullish, right? And this could very easily be in the event of a drop. If we get a drop, this could be the last big swing trade of the bull market, right? This zone right here, between 109 to 112, this could really be the last big swing trade of the bull market, up to 130 plus. You know, because when you have a major range lasting from November 2024 all the way to June 2025, June, July, August, September, November, that's 12 months, that's an 8-month range, man. All right, see, I do my addition and subtraction with my fingers. Look, I went to public school. Don't hate me, all right? They don't teach you a dang thing there. And plus, I didn't graduate. So if we get the drop, I'm going to be looking for the fake out to the downside and then the bounce, right? I'm going to be looking for that. That's going to be really, really key. But also, I understand that, you know, and look at how close, like this is another thing. Look at how close the box is to this level here, right? And there's a few places it could happen, right? I mean, I'm not gonna lie and say this is a small zone. I mean, it's a 5-6% zone. All right, if you're in the Casper Crew VIP Discord, you guys know the exact levels that I'm looking to trade. And also in the Casper Crew VIP Discord, I let you guys know when I'm taking the trade, why I'm taking the trade, and all that kind of stuff. At least I do if I'm there in the Discord, right? So this is going to be very key if we start to lose the level, to be watching to see if we get that reversal. Now also, this level at $121,000, we pull our Fibonacci from the high to the low, we go ahead and put on our 786 fib. We can see that it's a pretty, wait a second, where's my 786? We can see there's a pretty nice confluence right there as well, right? So be aware of coming up and just basically stop hunt of the high. Now, if we can flip, I'd say 121.6 into support. What do I mean by flip it into support? It's resistance. I mean, we get a move up and then we get a little bit of a back test. And instead of coming back into our range, we flip this. Then we're going to see, in my opinion, $130,000 one dot, whatever it is, the next Fibonacci extension. I think it's the 1.786. All right. Now, it's very interesting here because when we take a look at this fib pull, you can see our first rejection was from the 618. The 618, as we know, is 6 Juanita, my high school crush, the girl who I thought she had a crush on me too, basically, because she would like laugh at my jokes and she would let me carry her books and she would let her copy my homework and my tests and stuff, and she would let me give her money if she needed money for something, you know. Turns out when I asked her on a date, she said, "Jay, you know, I like you, man, but I don't really like you like that." And she gave me that hand, she gave me that face, and she rejected me. And you can see clearly the rejection is pretty much perfect, exactly what happened to me in high school. Now, why did she reject me? Again, I was in the friend zone. She wasn't into nice guys. You know those girls in high school. They didn't like nice guys. They like those douche bags, right? Those douches, right? Those douchematos. Los douchemotos. Los douchemotos. Douchemoto. Kokomoko tokomokotos. Like Sam Bankman-Fried, all right? That was who 618 was into. Now, when we look at SBF, what do we notice about his man boobs? Upside down and crooked. All right, this is known as the bearish upside down Sam Bankman-Fried man boob pattern. Now, take a look. When we did come up recently to ask out 618 on a date, happened back here Thursday. Look at Market Cipher B here and notice that pretty much if we take the Sam Bankman-Fried's man boob pattern and we hyperimpose it onto the chart, that the resemblance is striking. The red pepperoni nipple is getting lower. The money flow getting lower over time. The momentum is getting lower. Now, here's what we really need to watch. As we come up to ask 618 out again, are we going to see Sam Bankman-Fried's upside down man boobs here or no? That's really what we need to ask. If we're seeing bullishness, this money flow getting thicker on Market Cipher B, that means the breakout is very probable. And it means we're going to make our way up to that 121.6, the 786 fib. Here's a picture of the 786. 618's older sister. Now, she also didn't date me in high school, but not because we were in the friend zone, because when I asked her out, she tried to fight me in the boys' bathroom, and she won. And it was very embarrassing. She gave me a swirly. She held me by my ankles and dipped my head into the toilet while she flushed it. It was the most embarrassing moment in my life, which basically led me into a long, dark path of basically turning into a creature looking like this. All right, but that's another story for another time. We're going to be looking as we come up to that level, and if we don't see Sam Bankman-Fried up here, I'd say we're going to break. Let's go, let's look. We're going to look at our 1 hour one more time here. Money flow thickening, bullish divergence. It will be a really good sign of strength right now locally if we can finally break out of the value area high of this local range. The first big sign that the pump is happening is going to be breaking out of value area high. Value area high, where we're currently at right now, guys. Currently rejecting to the exact dollar. And they say technical analysis doesn't work. Let's check out the order flow here. Let's see what's happening in the Momente. Wow. Wow. A lot of shorts. Okay, wow. Wow. That's interesting. A lot of shorts trying to open up here. People really shorting this value area high. We had 14 million shorts open up. Then we had 13 million longs, but all those longs have closed out, but a lot of those shorts are actually still open. We've actually got quite a few shorts underwater right now. We have about 12 million shorts currently underwater, holding positions in the red. I wonder if they know something about what Jerome Powell is going to be saying. Now remember, in about half an hour, Jerome Powell, the man himself, is coming out the closet to flap his gums in Washington, D.C., to talk about some things. All right? So it's going to be quite interesting to see what happens, the volatility that will ensue as Jerome Powell comes out the dang closet. Now, here's something also to be aware of, guys. I do just want to point this out. I mean, we made a low. We swept the low and got a reversal. We made a high. Maybe we should sweep the high and get a reversal and stay in this awful range forever. But we hope that that doesn't happen, right? We hope that doesn't happen. We do want to see the pump. All right, we do want to see the pump. Let's pop back onto it. Look at this. We're getting a little bit of a green candle. The greeny meeny, the meeny greeny greeny meeny, the meeny greeny greeny meeny. Let's pop back to the order flow. We're going to go to a higher time frame and we're going to check out everything here. I hate how glitchy whatchamacallit is. EXO. Let's go to CoinAlive. Hang on. I'm gonna go to CoinAlive. Bear with me here while I go to CoinAlive. Here we go. Make sure to smash the likes, guys. We're going to do $500 worth of giveaways today, courtesy of BLOFIN. If you want to be eligible for the giveaway, you need to sign up to BLOFIN using my link in the description. You don't have to deposit anything in order to get the $100. All right? But BLOFIN is giving it away today. All right? Shout out to BLOFIN. It's a promotion for BLOFIN. Also, guys, I trade on WEEX, I trade on KCEX, and I trade on ANTARCTIC, decentralized exchange. Make sure to check them out. Links in the description. And if you know how to trade but you have no money, check out Klein Funding, crypto prop firm that runs on Bitget. 25% discount on these funded accounts. You can customize your plan here. Literally, you can get a $6,000 funded account for $30. Guys, $30 with my discount coupon code in the description to get a $6,000 funded account. You do need to pass a test in order to get the funded account, but you can get an instant pro account, 15% discount, where you don't have to pass the challenge. All right? Stay tuned. Make sure to subscribe to the channel because we're going to be giving away some free accounts here coming up later this week. All right? But today, BLOFIN's going to be giving away $500. So make sure to sign up. Now, when we take a look at the order flow throughout the entirety of the range, a few interesting things to note. First of all, if we look at this, as we're making the higher lows, we are seeing CVD getting lower over time, which is, technically speaking, a bullish CVD divergence. And technically speaking, open interest is not the best. We would really want to see this open interest increasing in the range. We're not really seeing it. It's pretty flat, to be honest. But this CVD is more bullish than bearish. Typically, when you're in a range making higher lows, and every time we come to the lows, you see more and more shorts opening, it means there are bigger players here, like whales. You know, let's get our whale picture. What kind of a whale is this? It's a miniature poodle beluga. All right, there are whales here that are basically filling up long orders every time we come to support. All right, that typically is what this bullish CVD means. What you typically want to see in order to make it even more bullish would be this stuff, this open interest, continuing to get higher. Instead, it had a big drop off and then it had a pump, and now it's literally back to where we started when we started forming the range, right? Open interest was here. It's literally a straight line. So it's not the most bullish thing in the world, but I say it's definitely more bullish than bearish, especially when we take a look at market Cipher and the bullish divergences that market Cipher is forming as well. And guys, if you want to learn more about CVD and all, check out the dang free course on my YouTube channel. I have a free trading course, goes over everything. Check out this video right here, order flow and CVD, taught by yours truly. All right, taught by yours truly right here. So make sure to check it out. The free course, it's the best YouTube course on Twitter. All right, does that make any sense? No, that's how you know it's a good course. All right, 18 sessions for free, baby. So yeah, we've got some bullishness here. Let's check it out. We're getting a little bit of a green. Let's zoom back into the low time frame order flow. Okay, so we have these shorts open and holding their positions here. Quite interesting. A lot of shorts at 119. Again, about 12 million shorts currently holding their trades in the red right now. Jerome Powell to speak in 20 minutes. And I'm very curious to see if I can get Jerome Powell live here. I don't know. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll be able to watch it, guys. We'll be able to watch it. That's awesome. Yeah, so we'll be able to watch it, man. Let's pop it on in. So at the time, we're going to check it on out. Let's take a look at some altcoins. You know, Ethereum, like I said, getting a little bit of a move to the downside. I do think we need to cool off a little bit, but overall, I'm super dang bullish on ETH, man. First of all, the hour market Cipher B getting very oversold here. All right, last time it was this oversold was right before the big break. All right, the time before that was also right here before the big break. So the 1 hour is already very oversold. Let's take a look at the 2 month. Again, guys, 2 month ETH printing this green dot. When this confirms, we are going to see crazy follow through, in my opinion. All right, I posted on Twitter the other day. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at Jason_Casper. But I posted on Twitter the other day. What do you think happens next? Let's take a look at how this chart looks when we zoom out. All right, we have ourselves a bull flag. All right, this is a bull flag. We have a big move up. Then we consolidate in a symmetrical triangle. Now, this is over the course of years. This is going back to the bear market of 2019. The bull market all-time high of 2021, and then consolidate from 2021 until 2025. We're breaking this ancient level of resistance right here, going all the way back 4 years ago, and we're about to confirm a green dot on the 2 month time frame that is continuing the direction, right? It's continuing direction. Look at this. We are continuing direction. That first green dot that printed back here, we can't see it. We got to go to Coinbase. All right, we got to go to Coinbase. This first green dot that printed right here, we now have a higher green dot. All right, we also see a hidden bullish divergence on the 2 month time frame as the price is making a higher low on the trend line. Look at the yellow oscillator on market Cipher B. All right, let's go ahead and make it clear. Let's make it clear so we can all see. All right. As the price is making a higher low, we are seeing this oscillator ever so slightly coming down. All right. That's pretty crazy. That is pretty crazy. Honestly, when was the last time we saw this? We can take it from here too. All right, that last higher low before the big pop, we got a hidden bull div coming in right here. All right, on the yellow oscillator. Very interesting stuff. I think once this dot confirms, we're going to see a big pump on ETH. We're going to see it. Remember, this is the 2 month, so we're looking at a fall time pump. But when we look at the monthly, what are we seeing? The green dot confirmed. Look at the yellow oscillator right now on the monthly. Big signs of strength right here. Big signs of strength. We go to the 2 week. Look at the 2 week, man. We got to put our money flow back on. What happened to our money flow? Look at the 2 week yellow oscillator. Look at that strength right there. Upward angle. And look at the 1 week. The one thing that's really keeping me super bullish here on the 1 week is this blue money flow. Blue money flow. When you see a money flow cross from the purple into the blue, it's only happened a few times in history on ETH. It happened right here. And it happened right here. All right. Now, what's different about these 2 times is these 2 times was in the middle of a bear market. This time in the middle of a bull market as we're heading into the last half year, where historically we see altcoins outperform Bitcoin like crazy and go on these crazy pumps. Now, ETH is the #2 market cap coin in crypto. These high time frames, in my opinion, are screaming that we are going to see a big breakout and that we are going to hit some of our targets from these Fibonacci extension levels, from the low to the high to the low. Our next big target is going to be the 1-to-1 Fibonacci extension. That's going to be coming in around 5,500. Then we got that 1.618 at about 8,500. 1 at about 10,000. These are my major Fibonacci targets for ETH here. And I really don't think that's such a crazy target either. Alright? When we look at this, and we understand that this is a giant goal flag here. Right? It's not that crazy to think that we hit our $10,000 ETH. And it could happen quick too. It could happen so quick, man. You know, people are not ready for it. People are not ready for ETH pumping, man. I'll tell you. People ain't ready for the ETH pumping. Now let's go down to the low time frames, talk about what's happening locally here. You know, we have this big move to the upside. Alright? The big move to the upside. We're flirting again with our trend line. Here's the deal. Locally, right now, I'd say that the key support is going to be 3,500. A back test of 3,500. If we come down to there, that is going to be the level to look for a bounce. Alright, this is the value area high of the range that we've been trading pretty much through the entirety of this 4-year market cycle. Alright, so we got the breakout, the retest, the higher high. So coming back down to this area is obviously now support. It's obviously going to be support. We go ahead, we take our fib from that last swing low to the high. It's also our Fibonacci golden pocket retest. So this is going to be a very important zone. In addition to that, guys, if we take a look at this, let's go back to our daily. And we extend this backwards. Okay, so it's the same value area high. Very interesting. Yeah, that's going to be such a key level, guys. That's going to be such a key level. The breakout in the backtest of this right now is going to be such a key level. Now, if we come down there, keep in mind, our 1 hour time frame, what's it going to look like? It's going to look like this. Right, we're going to see the uneven butt cheek pattern on the oscillator, right? We're going to see the big, thick left cheek full of those greasy noodles and the right cheek looking skinny like that waitress at the diner. Hey, Dolores, get over here. You know, the raspy Brooklyn accent, smoking a cigarette inside like it's still 1985. The price comes down to the key support resistance flip. We get the 1 hour time frame with the left butt cheek big, the right one skinny. Then the price gets to bounce to the ceiling just like the cigarette smoke. Alright? That's what we want to be looking for. Alright? And if we hold above 3,005, 3,003 at the lowest. Alright, on a high time frame, 3,003 is going to be very important here. But holding this box, guys, this in my opinion could also be the next big opportunity on Ethereum for the breakout, right? Could very well be. And I'm talking a breakout to around 5,000 plus. So we're talking a really good risk to reward ratio right here. Alright, really good risk to reward ratio. Remember, this is not just any old level that we're looking to long. Alright, this is the value area high of all of this. Not all of this, all of this. Take it back even further. Look at that. Look at that. You see how important this is? This is going to be major support now. The last, let's see how many years. Going all the way back to 2021. The last 4 years of price action. This is going to be super key now. Keep in mind, we've also experienced the fake out of the trend line once, back down to the bottom of the range, and now we're breaking out again. This is a really, in my opinion, strong sign. All right, this is a really strong sign. Now let's discuss another scenario here, because what if we do reject, right? What if we actually just see a big move back down? Then what? Even if we see a big move back down, I have to remain bullish on ETH because of these high time frames. In which case, I think it's going to be very important for us to be watching for one of these. An inverted head and shoulder, all right? An inverted head and shoulder where we come back down to test our Fibonacci from that last swing low to the high. Back test the point of control of this range. Around 20, let's say 25 to 27. All right, if we reject from here and if we don't hold the back test of 3,500 and we come back down, all right, and we're not seeing uneven butt cheeks as we retest 3,500, then we wait and look for the butt cheeks at this zone between 25 and 2,800. This is going to be major, major, major support. And if we end up having a slow August and we see things retrace a little bit because of the high time frames, I would remain super bullish into September. And I think it's September, October, November, December is when we'd see that big pump and breakout. Either way, I'm convinced it's happening. The time frame, there's two options. Either we continue having a bullish summer, or the remainder of the summer is a bit bearish, and then we really start to see that pump in the fall. Either way, keep your eyes on this level to be prepared, because remember, as a trader, we're not about predicting, we're about preparing. That's the big difference between winning traders and losing traders. Winning traders prepare, they don't predict. We prepare. If the price comes to 100,000 and we see this, then we make the decision, all right? Lock in the profits. If the price comes down to here and we see our confirmations, then we know to make the decision. We're prepared. We don't know if this is going to happen, but we're prepared. Every little detail of the trade is prepared for, all right? If you're in the Casper crew, where I post all this stuff, and you watch our live streams, not only do we give the setups, but we walk you through exactly how and when you would pull the trigger, exactly even how much money to put on the trade, so that every little aspect of the trade is planned for. Every little aspect of the trade is planned for. You know, you're getting wrecked, you're losing money. It's because you don't have a good plan. And if you do, you don't have the discipline to stick to it. All right? You have your plan. I have my decision. You know, I'm letting the community know. And boom, we lock the profits, baby. JasonCasperTrading.com, best trading community in the world. We're going to have a VIP stream today where one of our 3 instructors is going to be doing exactly what we do every single day, 3 times a day, where we walk you through the live charts and give you our setups. All right, Jerome Powell going to be speaking in 7 minutes. He's going to be speaking in 7 minutes. There's going to be some volatility ensuing here. And while we wait, we got to take a look at some other assets. You know, man, oh man, I have to say, guys, I'll just be honest with you. Some of the assets I'm really interested in now are definitely, first of all, ETH I think has a lot of potential. But the two that I think really have a bunch of potential here is Cardano. All right, look at Cardano printing on the monthly time frame, a green dot. All right, hasn't confirmed yet. Direction, you know, bullish divergence, cup and handle breakout. I think it looks really good. Also, I have to say, AVAX right now looking so juice. Look at just the risk to rewards on these. Look at the monthly market Cipher B. It's about to confirm the green dot. We're front running the pump here. A lot of these coins haven't pumped yet. All right. Other coins that I think are looking really good. I mean, I do have to say that I think Sui also is looking really good right now. It looks really bullish. The problem with Sui is, where would we get in? I think the two options are either a breakout and a retest of this bull pennant, or basically a move all the way back down, fake out, and then pump. But either way, when we look, and this coin's been all the rage lately, right? Look at the daily money flow about to cross. Look at the weekly here. Look at the money flow on the weekly getting thick. Look at this tight trigger wave here. Look at the direction of the oscillator as we're forming this symmetrical triangle. It looks very similar to what ETH is doing, to be honest with you. Next target would be $8.48. From where we're at right now, that's about a 100% gain. Now again, my 2 entry triggers would need to be a breakout and a back test of this trend line, or a better entry, which is less likely in my opinion, stop everybody out and then reverse. Those are the 2 things that I see here. Sol, man. Sol looking juicy. You know, again, we're not seeing the pullbacks yet on these, and I have to caution people, you know, look, leverage, you get wrecked. But this whole structure right here, in my opinion, this range is looking primed for a breakout. This low looks like the low, right? Hidden bullish divergences out the wazoo, money flow thickening, green dots printing, 2 week. Look at the 2 week on Sol right now. Insanely bullish, money flow thickening, anchor trigger. Look at the month. About to confirm the green dot. Man, this thing is primed for a pump. And so really, I mean, you know, I'd say on spot, anything within this range is a good place. But for leverage, you know, what are we looking at? We would need to get some kind of a pullback, honestly. Because you got to be careful with that leverage. Money flow crossing on the daily, momentum very high. 86 on market, Cipher B. Let's go ahead and pull the volume. Wow, so we're breaking out right now of the value area high of this range. Let's go ahead and pull the fib from the last low to the high. Let's go ahead and pull the volume of this local range. I would say, like, for super scalpy, if you're feeling scalpy and you think things are going to pump, you know, $1.67 to $1.75 is our local support right here. The breakout and the back test of the value area high of both these ranges, right? We have this clear support resistance flip. We can pull this all the way through. Resistance, 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 support, 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 resistance, resistance. You know, that 167 to 175 zone, definitely not a bad place to look for another higher low right now. But Sol is looking primed for a breakout. I'm going to be looking myself for some leverage positions on some of these altcoins. All right, low leverage, just to like ride them up. Look at the money flow on the daily. And then, yeah, so our target for Sol. I mean, let's say we hit a $500 Sol. Right? That's, to me, is very, very conservative. That's 3-to-1 risk reward from where we're at right now. If the higher low is in, that's almost a 4-to-1. Yeah, it's about a 4-to-1. If we get any kind of a pullback, that would be great. And if we're looking for a low time frame entry, let's say we do get the back test of 170. Now we're talking a 10-to-1 risk reward here. We're going to be trading with this trend, trading the back test. We get some bullish signals here. That's going to be a really nice risk to reward, in my opinion. And we're talking from where we're at right now to 500. It's like 160%. That's pretty conservative, pretty reasonable in my opinion. Could we see higher? Of course. Of course. But I always like to shoot for the conservative targets. Got to give a major shout out to Jay Wheels. Shout out Casper Crew. Best trading Discord in the world. AVAX, please. We did take a little look at AVAX. We'll take another little look for you, Jay Wheels. Thank you so much for the super chat, and God bless you, bro. Then we'll take a look at JP. All right. Look, all I can say about AVAX is this. I think the monthly time frame says it all. The green dot about to print. Yellow oscillator getting higher. We're literally at bear market support still. All right. Shooting for the all-time high. 10 times more reward than risk right now. Assuming we break out and hit a $400 AVAX. 30 times more reward than risk. All right. The weekly time frame. Anchor trigger. Bullish divergences out the wazoo. Looking crazy. All right, let's see here. Is Jerome Powell live yet? Looks like no. Not quite yet. Shout out to Expert Rotary. He says XRP. Look, XRP is making new all-time highs. I'm going to chart this one later for the Casper Crew Discord. But I still think we're en route to our $5 target here, the target of the breakout of this bull pennant. Right now, this is a good sign of strength, having broken out and coming back to like back test $3.39. I say obviously right now $3.39 is going to be major support, right? Major support resistance flip at $3.39. You know, we go to our daily. We're forming a little bit of a bull flag here. You know, whenever you form a range or a bull flag, this is now the place where you look for the positions. So we have our sideways range. I would say this. Be very aware of this. And this. And this. These would be the three places where I'd be looking for XRP trades. We go ahead, we pull our fib from that swing low to the high. You know, you can see that basically for a long position, you'd want to get a nice fake out. You know, a nice fake out here to come down and take the liquidity from all these people looking for the breakout, right? Stop hunt big time. Even stop hunt these little guys. Bounce from the support resistance flip right around here. Then we look for that reversal, really. Another thing to look for is, let's say today we get a big old pump. You know, you can see the money flow coming out here and the momentum coming out here already. Be aware of a stop hunt just to then put it down to this area and then get the bounce, right? You know, whenever you're forming a bull flag, that's the place where you look for your entries, right? Let's see, JP. Fashionably late as usual. Fashionably late as usual. Good old Jerome Powell, man. Jerome is speaking. Already? We're on the Federal Reserve website here. Looks like it's not quite live yet. All right, well, since it's not live yet, guys, let's give away our $500. All right, the way you win 500, sign up to BLOFIN using my link. We need your user ID. It's the number by your dang thing here, all right? You copy that, you paste it in the chat. All right, sign up using my link. We're gonna be giving away 5 winners. We'll give away 5 more another time this week. But I need you guys in the chat right now to post your BLOFIN user ID number if you signed up using my link. All right. Go ahead and post it in the chat right now. The first 5 who post it will win $100. Go for it. The first 5 who post will win $100. All right, we got one right here. All right, we got number 2, Expert Rotary. Congratulations. And we got number 3, Lasers Go Pew Pew. Oh wait, no, that's not a number. Sorry. Shout out to No Time for Space with the super chat. Thank you so much. Jerome's live, you say? Man, this is the Federal Reserve official YouTube channel. The Federal Reserve is slacking, man. The Federal Reserve is slacking. Alright, we got 2 winners so far. Alright, Tech with Tammy, winner number 3. Congratulations. What's happening? We're giving away $500. Alright, we got Rakesh B. Congratulations. We got one more. Let's see who it is. You spawned the first one, HFG? I have it on live chat. That should be right. Chat won't let you. That's weird. Alright, Nat Cap. Well, it should. It's letting some people. It's just numbers. Alright, guys, we got our winners. Congratulations. We're going to be doing more giveaways on this channel. We're going to be giving away funded accounts on Klein funding. And we're going to be giving another $500 away on BLOFIN. And of course, if you guys can smash the likes up to 1,000 in a half hour, we always are going to be giving away our $1,000 prize. But Federal Reserve still not playing, huh? Okay. Well, that's weird. Alright, shout out to our winners. We'll get you your prizes ASAP. Alright. Looks like we're pumping, man. Is Jerome Powell really live? Like... Is JP really live? Alright, can we look at NACA USD? No time for space. Well, I'm trying to listen to Jerome Powell here. But it looks like he's still not live. But some of you guys say he is live. So I don't really know what to think about this. Even on the Federal Reserve website, it's not live. But some of you guys say he is live. I can see your text, but when you send the number, it's not showing. I don't know, HFG. I'm gonna have to look into it, man. Make sure you have it on live chat to see the chat in actual order. Can I check Tarasi Act 04? Man, we gotta give a major shout out to Crypto Tom. It's frustrating with the whole Federal Reserve thing right now. Alright, well, we're gonna take a look at NACA for our super chat here. And then we'll take a look at that other one, I guess, while we wait for this. Federal Reserve. Okay, so we have bullish divergence. We have a higher high. We have a support resistance flip coming in right here. We pull the fib from the low to the high. And we're way below all fib levels. But we are at support resistance flip. And we are seeing a hidden bullish divergence on the weekly here. Anchor trigger. So I don't know anything about this coin. Nothing. I don't. But the chart is in an uptrend. And if we look at risk to reward ratio, as we consolidate here, assuming we put our stop underneath this low, we shoot for an all-time high. That's an 18-to-1 risk reward right there, right? If we put the stop under the low, that's a pretty crazy risk to reward, you know? If we come up to just this, it's a 7-to-1 risk reward. So more of a speculative play, but definitely valid if you're bullish fundamentally. All right, risk to reward is good on it. Oh wait, JP coming on in. Man, this is some interesting music, huh? All right, while we wait for Jerome Powell, we're going to be taking a look at TARSAI. I mean, we're pretty bottomed out here. Risk to reward is not the best. This, though, will get very easily swiped up. And once we break out of here, we have a bullish bottom on the weekly. We have bullish div on the daily. We've changed market structure. We're getting a back test into key support in the Fibonacci golden pocket. The real sign of strength here is going to be a reclaim of 9791, which is this red line right here. If we start to reclaim these lows, it would be a crazy short squeeze potential here, because we just have a whole bunch of liquidity to be taken. All right, shout out to Script. You're long on TAO from 350. Yeah, I mean, 500 is a nice target. It's the liquidity. Actually, you know, we already took most of that liquidity here. But nonetheless, it's the next high. It's the next target. 350. So you longed the break. Money flow looks good. You got yourself in with a nice risk to reward. It's not really worth closing it now, I can see that. But we have the falling wedge type structure. I mean, yeah, that's a good target. Money flow looks good. So far looks good.
I'm here to deliver the 4-minute warning. Not really. Let's get started.
So gay.
Good morning to everyone, and welcome to the Federal Reserve Board. I'm very pleased, though not surprised, to see such great interest in the topic of today's conference, the integrated review of the capital framework for large banks. And I want to thank Vice Chair for Supervision Bowman for having the great idea of holding this event at the outset of her term. I'd also like to thank Fed staff for their tireless work in putting the conference together. So today, we'll hear the perspectives of industry veterans, academics, and current and former policymakers who are all well-versed in the operations of large banks and the main pillars of the capital framework. A great benefit of this conference is the chance to consider all elements of the capital framework in concert, rather than look at each in isolation. We need to ensure that all the different pieces of the capital framework work together effectively. Doing so will help maintain a safe, sound, and efficient banking system for the benefit of the people we serve. The U.S. bank capital framework includes risk-based capital requirements, leverage requirements, the surcharge for the largest and most complex banks, and the stress tests. We will discuss the status of each of those elements and the road ahead in a comprehensive manner today. As this audience will know well, we have proposals outstanding or in the works across all 4 areas. Our regulatory capital framework and all banking rules are implemented through supervision, an area where Vice Chair for Supervision Bowman brings deep experience as a former banker and state supervisor. As she has noted, we need to make sure that our supervisory practices focus on the critical areas that determine safety and soundness. We need our large banks to be well capitalized and to manage their key risks well. And we need large banks to be free to compete with one another, with non-bank financial institutions and with banks in other jurisdictions to provide capital and support economic growth. The Fed is a dynamic institution. We're open to hearing new ideas and feedback on how to improve the capital framework for large banks, and I look forward to hearing from today's participants. Thanks again to all of you for joining us today. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Chair Powell. Welcome, everyone. My name is Amal Vaidya. I'm sure I've been inundating your email box with Capital Conference 2025 emails for registration and logistics. I will go over a couple of quick housekeeping things, and we will start the next panel at 9 a.m. As you know, this is a secure building, so our colleagues in law enforcement do ask that you keep your badges on you at all times. If you need to step out for a moment, anyone who you see that does not have a badge on is Federal Reserve staff. They are part of our events team supporting.
All right, looks like we're not going to get anything good until 9, all right, guys? All right.
On vibrate for the duration of this event. And with that said, we will get the next panel started at 9 a.m. Thanks so much.
So now what? Just nothing, huh? All right, well then, guys, I'm going to head out. God bless you all in Jesus' name. Make sure to like, subscribe, click the bell. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.